In a village named Epetu Ijashe, there lived a man named Adebayo, a prestigious cocoa merchant. Adebayo was admired by many for his wealth and his charm. However, beneath the surface of his seemingly perfect life lay a home tormented by unfulfilled dreams. Adebayo had been married to his wife, Morayo, for 10 long years. In those years, their home had been silent, devoid of the laughter of children. This silence ground at Morayo, a kind and humble woman who had devoted herself to her husband and his family. She was constantly reminded of her failure to bear children, a failure that society placed strongly on her shoulders alone. In the early years of their marriage, Adebayo had been a loving and doting husband. He often reassured Morayo, saying, "We are in this together." But as the year passed and their marriage remained childless, his patience began to wane. The pressure from his mother, Iyafunke, didn't help matters. A sharp-tongued woman with keen sense of pride, Iyafunke saw Morayo as a stain on her family's name. "Bayo," she would say, her voice dripping with disdain. "How long will you tolerate this barren woman? You need an heir to continue your legacy. If Morayo cannot give you a child, find another woman who can." These words took root in Adebayo's heart. Morayo, sensing her husband's growing coldness, tried everything in her power to save their marriage. She prayed at the village shrine, sought help from herbalists, and even visited distant healers. But despite her effort, her womb remained empty, and her husband's love failed. Eventually, Adebayo gave in to his mother's demands and decided to marry a second wife. Word spread quickly through the village, and soon a young woman named Yetunde was introduced to the family. Yetunde was a striking beauty with smooth ebony skin, a curvy woman, and a cunning smile that hid her true intentions. From the moment she stepped into Adebayo's home, she assumed confident and charmed. Yetunde, however, was not content with simply being a second wife. She wanted to dominate the household, and she had a plan. Before moving into Adebayo's home, she visited a feared and respected native daughter, Baba Ijebu, in a neighboring village. Baba Ijebu was known for his powerful charms and dark practices. Yetunde explained her situation, and Baba Ijebu listened carefully, stroking his long graying beard. After a moment of silence, he handed her a pristine white cloth and said, "This cloth holds great power. When your monthly flow comes, use it to clean yourself, then use it to cook meals for your husband and his mother. They will adore you and despise anyone who stands in your way. But beware, never let anyone see you doing this." Yetunde smiled, thanked him, and tucked the cloth into her bag, determined to carry out his instructions. In the week following Yetunde's arrival, life in Adebayo's home changed drastically. Yetunde played her role perfectly, acting sweet and respectful to everyone around her. She flattered Adebayo endlessly, calling him Okomi, that means my husband in Yoruba language, in a tone that made him feel like a king. She also showered Iyafunke with gifts and compliments, securing the older woman's loyalty. When Yetunde's monthly flow came, she carried out Baba Ijebu's instructions. She prepared a delicious pot of ewedu soup using the enchanting cloth to stir the meal. That evening, as Adebayo and Iyafunke ate, they couldn't stop praising Yetunde's cooking. "This is the best meal I have ever had," Adebayo exclaimed. His face lightened up with delight. Iyafunke nodded in agreement. "Now this is what a real wife looks like," she said, loud enough for Morayo to hear. From that day on, Adebayo and his mother treated Morayo like dirt. They criticized everything she did, refusing to eat her meals or acknowledge her presence. Adebayo, embodied by his growing love for Yetunde, eventually ordered Morayo to leave his house. Heartbroken and humiliated, Morayo packed her belongings and returned to her family home. Morayo's family welcomed her with open arms. Though deeply hurt, she refused to let the spell consume her. She poured her energy into a small cocoa farm her father had gifted her years ago. Determined to prove her worth, she expanded the farm, hired workers, and built a struggling business. Over time, her reputation as a hardworking and successful woman spread throughout the region. Meanwhile, back in Adebayo's home, Yetunde revealed her new found power. She controlled every aspect of the household, from the finances to the servants. Adebayo and Iyafunke adored her, but their joy was short-lived. Months later, and Yetunde failed to conceive a child. Frustrated and desperate, she returned to Baba Ijebu. "The problem is not with you," Baba Ijebu revealed. "Your husband is impotent. He cannot father children." Determined not to lose her luxurious lifestyle, she devised a cunning plan. She seduced their neighbor Alade, a strong farmer known for his good looks and charm. Late at night, she would sneak into his hut, ensuring no one saw her. Months later, Yetunde announced her pregnancy. Adebayo and Iyafunke was overjoyed, believing the child was theirs. When Yetunde gave birth to the twin girls, the household erupted in celebration. Yetunde basked in their admiration. One year after the twins' birth, Adebayo's auntie, Iya Abeni, came to visit. Unlike Iyafunke, Iya Abeni was wise and kind. She immediately sensed that something was not right. Determined to uncover the truth, she kept a close eye on Yetunde. One evening, as Yetunde prepared a pot of soup, Iya Abani caught her adding her menstrual blood to the meal. Horrified, she screamed, drawing the attention of the entire household. Adebayo, Iyafunke, and the neighbors rushed in, demanding an explanation. Cornered, Yetunde confessed everything. She revealed how she had used charm to win their love, how Adebayo was impotent, and how she had slept with Alade to conceive the twins. The village was erupted in outrage. Adebayo, humiliated and heartbroken, chased Yetunde out of his home. Realizing his mistake, Adebayo sought out Morayo to beg her for forgiveness. By then, Morayo's cocoa farm had grew into one of the largest in the region. She had also caught the attention of Ajani, the wealthiest palm fruit farmer in the area, who had proposed marriage. When Adebayo arrived at her home, he fell to his knees, weeping, "Morayo, I was a fool. Please forgive me and come back to me." But Morayo, now confident and independent, looked at him calmly and said, "You threw me away when I needed you the most. My place is no longer with you." Shortly after, Morayo married Ajani and became pregnant within months. Adebayo, now alone and filled with regret, spent the rest of his days lonely and sorrowful with his mother. On the other hand, Yetunde moved on with her life like nothing happened. She opened a tomato business in another region of the village with her twin living with her. The story of Adebayo, Morayo, and Yetunde became a cautionary tale in Ipetu Ijashe. It taught the villagers that greed and deceit could only lead to ruin, while resilience, integrity, and self-worth would always triumph.